Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Wednesday, April 8th, here in 2026, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio's YouTube channel. Hey, we're back on YouTube today. Sorry for yesterday. That show was on Twitter. But we're back, and we appreciate you for tuning in and being loyal, as always, to this channel and, of course, this great show. Speaking of today's great show, I'm going to first get to part 2 of 2 of my in-season tournament idea. I know yesterday we kicked around 3 unboxed games in one season every year for the foreseeable future. I will expand on that today with a more fun version of that topic. Then I'll get to my NLL Award Races. Head coach, general manager, defensive player of the year, and offensive player of the year. And finally, another big shakeup has happened in this week's edition of Mike's NLL Power Rankings. So thank you so much for tuning in today. We're ready to go. We first want to let you know this show is presented by the merchandise found at natalkradio.us/NLL. Head there now if you want to gear up for this year's playoffs for your favorite team, United States residents. Again, natalkradio.us/NLL. So let's get to that in-season tournament idea. And this is kind of like an alternate home games idea. All right. So yesterday's show, I did what I called the Unboxed series. And this could kind of have the same name, maybe not. But I was saying that markets that the NLL thought, obviously you have to work behind the scenes, but markets the NLL thought in the next 5 to 10 years could get a team, you would go there. Now, obviously you wouldn't want to sacrifice teams like Buffalo and like Calgary and teams that get like Colorado. You don't want to sacrifice the teams that get really good attendance. Even Vancouver is entering that chat. But it wasn't geographically like handcuffed. Like I feel like Georgia could go multiple places, as could Rochester, etc. That was a serious topic. I think the NLL should do that. This is of the same mindset, but more fun and just to kind of kick around some fun ideas. So this one is, like I said, the alternate home games idea. Now, I asked a few folks what they thought we could do. So I'm going to get some ideas from those as well. And I'll let you know when it's there, like another person's idea. And if they want to chime into the comments, they can say that too. But let's start off with the Georgia Swarm. All right. I was doing this in a way where the team could technically drive there within 5-ish hours. That'd be like a lot of driving time. But I feel like the things that I thought of here, at least for the Swarm's sake, was actually pretty good. So Georgia could take the 4.5-hour trip here to Savannah. We have the Savannah Ghost Pirates. They pack out that barn. You give these college kids cheap beer and a great sport. They love you for it. So I think they could easily go to Embarcadero Arena. I think that'd be awesome. There are also 2 other places the Swarm could realistically take a bus to if they wanted. Nashville, Tennessee was closer to Duluth than I thought it was. And so is Charlotte, North Carolina. That actually was kind of surprising to me that all 3 of those, Savannah, Charlotte, and Nashville, are all within like bus driving distance, like 4, maybe 5 hours. That's pretty impressive to me. And I don't think that's a long bus ride for a team that could grow. It's funny because this topic, like, I don't want like the 2-hour trips, like maybe, but I feel like if like for me, I know for most people on a somewhat of a budget, I don't just have money pouring out my wazoo here, but I feel like most fans, if you're 5 hours away, it's like, okay, man, like that's a maybe one game a year. It's hard. It is tough going to Duluth. All right. I don't just have time to just go up there every Saturday night. I would love to, but why not bring the team to those places if it's feasible? Like I said, Charlotte actually kind of wants a team. Will maybe want a team. Nashville, people kicking around. Same thing with Savannah. Now, I'm not saying Savannah wants a team. I'm just saying it would make sense to, if you're called the Georgia Swarm, go south. Heck, I'm looking this up too. I meant to do this before the show. Duluth to Jacksonville. I don't know how much farther that would be. It shouldn't be too much. This is great TV. There we go. Let's try it. 5.5, maybe 6.5 hours. Maybe that's a stretch. But my point is, you're expanding your region's footprint. And that, to me, would do better than what Unbox is doing right now, which is next to nothing. Sorry. Next up, let's go west. How about San Diego playing in Coachella Valley? This is not my idea, but I like this idea because it's kind of nearby. It was like 3 or 4 hours away. I think it's like 3. And Coachella Valley apparently has a very popular hockey teams there. And I feel like, I don't know how many people in Coachella Valley know about the Seals. Now, Joe Tsai might be doing a better job marketing than other people, even though he seems more like Desert Dogs Joe Tsai right now than he does Seals Joe Tsai. But I do like the Coachella Valley idea. I was thinking like a San Francisco, but I looked at that, I'm like, man, California is huge. So I decided not to. I took the Coachella Valley idea. Another place out west, technically. How about Las Vegas playing in Phoenix? Like, I don't think the Desert Dogs barn is big enough where they would lose a home game in this. And again, with this idea, it would be an alternate home game. So it's not like it would, like you could sacrifice a home game. And this idea also is like if they didn't do my serious Unboxed series idea. I think that would be my favorite. But I think that an alternate home game, if they do this instead, it would be like a fun, maybe in-season tournament. Whoever participated in such idea. Again, I think Vegas to Phoenix, I looked it up, not a far drive. Arizona has kicked around a couple of teams in the past with like, wasn't it like the original, what were they called, the Coyotes? I feel like Arizona had an NLL team. Like, that's factual, right? Yeah, they had the Sting. I knew it. They had the Arizona Sting. My point is, why not try it? Phoenix, you know? They got good ownership with the Suns. How about, let's go a bit further north here, Vancouver to Seattle. Huh? I think this could work. Like Seattle, I keep saying it, one of the best sports towns. Shout out Chantel Chand. I believe she's back on the sidelines for the Seattle Storm this year. I just saw that. She does a lot of Rush stuff, does some Vancouver stuff as well. But no, I think Vancouver going to Seattle would be a great. Now, granted, Vancouver's getting to the point now where I don't know if they could sacrifice a home game unless it actually did them well. I don't know if the Canucks ownership would want that. Well, I think Vancouver would be a possible thing if the idea is just take a bus there. Like, it's not a long drive. Comments here before we get to my last idea here. When did Rush owners, when old Rush owners owned the team, they advertised the Palm Springs Airport. Wow, Palm Springs. Where's that at? Is that in Alberta? See, south of the border, I'm game. North, I have no idea where that stuff is. But I appreciate that. How about Rochester? Huh? In Long Island. Listen, man, I looked at this. Buffalo is so goddamn far west that you can't I couldn't find a place for Buffalo to go. And plus, in the Buffalo Bills, you would sacrifice an 18,000 seat game. I don't know if you'd want to do that for Buffalo. So why not put Rochester in Long Island for a game? Again, you'd have to convince Seneca Nation, but it's a possibility. Oh, wow. See, look at me making fun of Canada. It's not even in Canada. I'm dumb. Whatever. I think Rochester and Long Island can actually be a thing. Again, you would have to operate under the assumption here that you market this Rochester in Long Island game well. Do I trust the NLL to do that? Absolutely not. But is it a fun idea? Sure. Now, let's get into some other ideas I heard kicked around. How about Vancouver and Victoria? Again, kind of close there. You have Oshawa maybe in Peterborough. Kind of like if you're within 2 hours of something, I feel like if I lived 2 hours from the Swarm, it'd be a lot easier of a trip because it wouldn't be literally my entire day. Like 4 hours is like kind of pushing it. That's why I'm like, okay, let's try this idea. But 2 hours, like, how about someone said Rochester to Syracuse, Hamilton to Kitchener? I don't know. Buffalo and Rochester would be crazy. Here's another one. How about Philadelphia to Panther City? Oh, that's just brutal. And for Ottawa, if the Black Bears don't stay in town, Kingston or Gatineau. Do we think the Black Bears are safe right now? No, I had to. I had to, man. Well, to be fair, CLL, that's what it feels like they're doing. Like the Northeastern Lacrosse League, but just call it the NLL. Just take the E out and call it the National Lacrosse League. I mean, again, like this idea is not a serious one, Pat. So, like yesterday's Unboxed series, I actually liked that idea a lot. This is not because we need a team in Long Island. This idea is for expanding the team's footprint. Like, and again, it's kind of silly because like I don't know if this would actually be like worth it, but I kind of like Rochester to freaking Long Island is not that far on a bus trip, so it is what it is. No, but no, I don't think Long Island. But I also don't know if Long Island needs a team or not. I know it's far away, but so is Halifax, to be fair. I feel like the only reason that didn't work is the same reason the Black Bears don't work right now. Like, we're banking on the fact that the Black Bears, like the Ottawa Senators, are just going to buy in, and the big reason they're not doing so is because GF sucks. So I don't think Long Island was a failure by the city, even though it kind of was, but like if no one in the city knew about it and every game was awful, like I've heard people that went there, they hated those games. Like in terms of like the like arena, like everything's happening, like the merchandise was terrible, or like the food. My point is, Long Island could do it if someone gave 10 cents about it, but they didn't. So now they're in Ottawa going to fail there too. So it is. I agree. Like these things can work. It can work anywhere, especially in those markets. But again, that's taking into like fourth time's a charm. But we're banking on the fact that those owners were good, though. Like if they keep on doing a 1 year rental, then Nick Sakavich, I still feel like that dude's one of the best salesmen of all time. And I don't want to get down this rabbit hole, but when you can convince Comcast and other people like that to just buy in to some idea that no one's even going to care about, it's unbelievable what he pulled off, man. I mean, good Lord. We got screwed, but good for him. He got his pockets padded for a couple of days. But yeah, I feel like this is a fun idea. Going to expand the footprint here. Again, this one was a little bit less serious because I don't know if this would even be worth it, but it's a fun idea. And again, if my ideas of San Diego and Coachella Valley, Georgia and Savannah, Rochester and Long Island, Vancouver and Seattle, Las Vegas and Phoenix, I feel like those 5 things, that would be at least those are 5 teams worth of in-season tournaments just for fun. And again, if the best part about this is if you do the idea of these the road, who would play San Diego and Coachella Valley, shoot, sacrifice a Vancouver road game at that point. That way it doesn't cost them any extra money to do that. So again, yesterday's idea was more actual, I think they should do it. This is kind of maybe one day, expand the footprint. I don't know. All right. So I don't know what any of this means, but so he says customer acquisition cost for sports teams is not high, but you can't spend. I read that back and now I understand it. Wow. Yep. All right, folks, when we come back, let's get to my award races, the expanded version from yesterday. We're doing head coach, general manager, and offensive and defensive player of the year. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Daily Dive back on YouTube, thank God. We'll be right back.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. I am your host, Michael Karvelis. You are locked in to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talks from the planet here on North American Talk Radio via YouTube. Thank you so much, YouTube viewers, for tuning back in today. I know yesterday was a little bit tough on X/Twitter, but we're here and we're back. It is Wednesday, April 8th. Reminder, we have merchandise. Go to dailydivelacks.creator-spring.com to get the best in Daily Dive merch. Reminder that next Tuesday we're doing a little fun on-air thing in honor of Pat Gregoire, who is not dead, but he was our back-to-back winner of Fresh Fits. You cannot wait for that. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. You can also go to the social media links, and they will see it there. So at Daily Dive LAX is a quick link for that shop. Great to meet. Troy says, something the Blackbears are starting to notice, been seeing them in the local media a bit more and more. Wow. What do you mean? What do you mean? You can't just be quiet. Want to change of pace here, Mr. Sir. All right. Well, let's get to our head coach of the year. Well, my head coach of the year. It's a little bit updated here. Right now I've got Ed Cuomo, number 1 still. The Swarm are 10-5. They now have a chance for the number 1 seed. Oh my, don't give Duluth the 1 seed. Then I might see a path for the title. We don't want to jump ahead of ourselves. But what Ed Cuomo's done this season with the roster being a bunch of rookies, with the offense being not great to start, defense should not be this good. I know Brad Dobson's been awesome, but come on now. But Ed Cuomo, give him his flowers. And also John Arlotta did him no favors by trading away Andrew Q. And I'm okay trading away Andrew Q, just not for Connor Kelly. Because I'm like, bro, all respect to Connor Kelly, Where's he at? So there you go. Number 2, Dan McCray. 3 losses in a row hurts a lot here, but make no mistake, Dan McCray's in his first year. That 1,000% matters for a chunk of his argument. I know the Rob Hellier thing's more like a GM thing, but he has got the Black Bears playing well. I think if Zach Higgins had a better year, like he did last season, the Black Bears would be better right now. But 8-8 still, you're close to the playoffs. Just win 2 of the. I don't want to say both, but like you gotta get in, guys. You have to. You've had too good of a run not to. You've had too many Cinderella stuff. Like, take advantage of your Cinderella stuff. Dan McCray's been great with what he's been offered year 1. Matt Sawyer, Toronto Rock. Listen, he's done well. I know they couldn't beat the Buffalo Bandits. That stinks. You beat the Rush. You were very competitive with Vancouver. I know losses don't mean much, but like the Rock had Troy Holochuk for like 5 or 6 games. It was a lot of games, and he is their backup goalie. And based on the save percentage as Nick Rose, has been 3 or 4 percentage points better. So having the backup goalie was actually a thing. The offense with the rookies, I know Jimmy Dowd, which you're going to see, should get credit for drafting those guys, but they still had to make it happen because Josh Dowd has not been good. Some of these guys have not been good or not lived up to what their standard is, and Matt Sawyer's overcome that. Pat Coyle, number 4 for me. He did not have Jack Hanna to start the season. Andrew Q has missed 4 games, and the Mammoth have been dominant all season. I don't know why I put 11-3. I literally meant to change that. Come on, bro. I can't believe I did that. They're 11-5. Like, what is wrong with me? Best part is, on the fly, I am so mad I did that. They're not 11-3. Stand by, folks, because I'm so mad at that. I'm literally gonna like remove that one and add add the one that is horrible. All right, here we go. Here it is. There, now I feel better. 11-5. Okay, good God, that was awful. Comments here. Couple of conversations. Need money to spend to let people know you're in markets when you aren't going to get free PR. Yep. Number 3 makes me sick. Yeah, I know. That makes sense. Toronto beat Vancouver. Oh, yeah. Well, see, that game was so good, I forgot who won it. Isn't that terrible? But yeah, like, okay, so the more power for Matt Sawyer. I could see Matt Sawyer at number 2 on this list for the record. Maybe some people think he might win it. I don't know. I think the roster is too good for that. But it's pretty impressive what he's done. Next up, GM. Listen, man. Brad Self, the Mammoth GM, again, he brought in Jack Hanna. Like, that had to happen. He traded away Connor Kelly for Andrew Q. That matters. Their rookies have been good. So I like the way this team looks. It's crazy that Andrew Q being dropped in that team was what the doctor ordered, man. They are impressive. And they've been without Liger and Ryan Lee. So obviously, like them being 11-5, the GM did his work. There's also a credit to Pat Coyle as well. Number 2, Sean Williams. Now, I have been dragging Sean Williams to the coal. I was not happy about Sean Williams with the goalie situation. I know they probably tried to. I don't think they tried hard enough. But he still had a good conversation for Jack Hanna, knowing that Jack Hanna wanted to go to Colorado. He brought in Tyson Bell, who apparently has been a godsend for them. And I did listen to TCB podcast on YouTube about Tyson Bell. I have been telling Captain about it on the show that adding Tyson Bell, their defense looks good again. And Sean Williams, I know that, you throw guys some money, doesn't matter who the coach is. I don't know. But Sean Williams brought in Kluche, brought in Fraser, and let's be real. Chase, in hindsight, Fraser and Kluche are a nice ad. And I know Fraser's been out. But, no one, like, I don't know how many people actually thought those two guys were going to be immediate dividends. Like, we didn't know Buffalo was going to miss them so badly. We didn't know that they were just going to be really good in Vegas, and they have been. I think John Donville has fit nicely with those guys around him. And I think Mitch Jones has been back to his former self, because in Philly, he kind of got a little bit sleepy. But it's looked good. But I think the trade deadline helped me with Sean Williams a lot. Jamie Dawick, man, listen, at some point, he has got to get credit for bringing in those rookies. Guys, the rookies on the Rock have been as advertised. Did you know their top 2 goal scorers are rookies drafted by Jimmy Dawick? And I'm not going to sit here and act like we all acknowledge, yes, he got the top 3 picks. But there are people like me who said trade 1 or 2. I said it. Multiple people said it. And Jimmy Dawick said, nah, we're picking all 3. And all 3, including Sam English, have been amazing for them. Like, I don't even know if Jimmy Dawick thought Owen Hiltz and CJ Kurse would lead this team in goals. Do y'all realize how crazy that is? So I think Jimmy Dawick deserves a lot of credit for that. Again, he could have easily traded away picks. He said, nah, I'm good. That's unbelievable. And then you have Hugh Kelleher, who's been a sneaky, good rookie. I mean, it's impressive. Isaiah Moraine Weeks was looking good. Like, he's gotten 5 games of playing time. There's no reason why Jimmy Dawick should not be on the top 5. I think it's like on the finalists, I think it's like 3 finalists. I think Jimmy Dawick should be in the top 3. I don't care who you put above him or below him. Staying packed with those draft picks and nailing them should be a thing. And then Dan McCray. Again, how far does Dan McCray fall in both awards? Wolf. Okay, so that's an interesting one. I think head coach, he falls farther. I could still see a scenario where bringing in Rob Hellier gets you on a top 3. I don't know if I would put him there at that point, but if they missed the playoffs, Jeff Teat needed a Robin to his Batman. And if it's worth anything, that has to matter. Like, I'll put it this way. People think that that's just so easy to do. Folks, I know Curtis Dixon has been good, but the fact that Keegan Ball is 42 points ahead of Jesse King shows you don't just drop in guys on a team and I think Kurt Malofsky was probably expecting more from Dixon and King in the points category. One of the two. The fact that Dan McCray got so much, like Rob Hellier, and I'm going to be honest, I thought he would be great in San Diego. I didn't think he was great in San Diego. But Rob Hellier, for the first time in a long time, like even in Vegas, I don't think Hellier was great in Vegas. I think Hellier has not been this awesome since Toronto. And I think that has to matter. Like, again, I don't know if they miss the playoffs, does it drop him out of the finalists? But I could see a greater argument for GM for Dan McCray. Again, simply because of Rob Hellier. I'm looking at the rookies on this team, on the Black Bears. Yes, good Lord. So Jake McNabb and Cole Begley, Liam Aston. Oh, wow. And at the trade deadline, I don't think I forgot who they brought in. Didn't they bring in like one guy at the trade deadline at least? Oh, he got compensation for Jacob Dunbar. Oh, they brought in Phil Caputo. Now, Caputo looks like he's not been great so far with them. And I believe that's actually been their 3 losses in a row, but oh well. Oh, yeah, so there you go. He is, yeah, thank you. Oh, hello! Welcome back, BSC! I love Phil and PK at Buffalo Sports Collective. They do a great job. But yeah, so even Troy agrees with me. The GM, again, I agree. Maybe, yes, if they miss the playoffs, I can see Dan McCray in the top 3. But again, that is all because of Rob Hellier. And who knows? Now, here's another thing. Even if they miss the playoffs, if Phil Caputo finds a way to pop off the last 2 games, I think that matters a little bit more to him. Again, they could miss the playoffs, but if Phil Caputo has like a hat trick in each of the last 2 games, that could get him on the ballot if you combine that with Rob Hellier. So there you go. Great question, by the way, by Pat Gregoire. All right, let's get to our Defensive Player of the Year. And again, I might consume a little bit too much OTCB, but I have added Brad Cree to the chat here. I realized I made a mistake. So according to NLLstats.com, Jordan McIntosh right now is listed as transition, all right? So I took that into account, and I feel like that I don't know if they're going to give Jordan McIntosh the opportunity to be Defender of the Year. Forget the fact the team has to pick him. I'm just saying, I think that matters. And I also think Brad Cree, I looked at the defensive numbers. Because remember last week or a week or 2 ago when I wanted Latrell Harris, and I said, well, he doesn't have the raw stats to back it up. If you compare Brad Cree's numbers to the rest of the Toronto defenders, it's not close. He has 29 caused turnovers. Folks, second place is rookie CJ Kirst at 17. Now, I also don't want to be strictly raw stats here because I understand what is 29 caused turnovers in a season like this, like in an 18-game season. I'm like, how much does that matter? I think 10 block shots. I think block shots are much more important because that to me is more sacrificial lamb kind of stuff. Like if you're jumping in the lane of a shot, that to me is almost better than a trail check. I don't know. Number 3 for me is Mr. Snoo. I just decided to grab a picture of his face from this year. Again, because he was with the Philadelphia Wings, I believe, or something like that to start, he didn't get a picture on the team. So Mr. Snoo of the Buffalo Bills, folks, they keep on winning with him in the lineup, and he also had a ball sack crazy stat line this past weekend. Mr. Snoo is up to number 3 for me. And of course, I think Callum Jones and Mike Messenger. I know I'm going to laugh my head off when they're going to, I guarantee you, the fact that Cody Jansen, no shots at Cody, the fact that Cody Jansen went on a nationally televised broadcast with John Fraser and looked at John Fraser and say, oh, he's transition. Why is Mike Messenger transition? That's not fair. Like, when did this become a thing? And again, I don't think it's fair. Like, let's say Owen Grant. Remember when Owen Grant was so good on defense and he could score goals and this year he hasn't? Are you telling me right now if Owen Grant had made a couple shots fall, all of a sudden he's transitioned? That is the dumbest award. You are literally looking at Mike Messenger and telling him, nah, bro, you're too good on offense. That screws him in both awards. And again, it's not a shot at Buffalo Sports Collective. It's not a shot at Cody Jansen. I'm just saying, I think it's absolutely asinine that they're going to sit there and tell me because he's got 16 points, he can't be a defender. You got to be kidding me. You cannot tell me that Mike Messenger has not been electric on defense of the rush. Like, do these people not the people, does the NLL actually watch the games? Honest to God. Because Mike, just like Latrell Harris in Toronto, is it because he's fast that we're going to screw him? That's not fair, man. Again, I guarantee you right now, Owen Grant is defense because the dude can't score this year. Are we kidding? But again, that's dumb. I think transition is one of the dumbest labels in lacrosse, at least in the NLL. I think the fact, if you watch a rush, and again, I'm not arguing with Buffalo Sports Collective, I'm just saying my point of view, if I'm watching a rush game, if I'm watching a rush game right now, I dare you guys to turn on, and again, not a shot at you guys, just the NLL. If I turn on the Rush Mammoth game, I beg people to count the amount of times Mike Messenger is actually not on defense. Because to me, transition is you're coming out the back door. But that's what I was told. So people are going to tell me, but again, he's been playing a lot of defense. That's what I'm saying. I think the fact they have these stupid designations when it is very clear, even Pat Gregoire said on the show, I think Kurt Malossi probably said it to those guys, we want them to play more defense, and they're going to label them transition. Again, I think it screws guys out of awards. I absolutely do. I think it's unfair to players who stand on defense, and because they can run fast, you're transition. That's the dumbest award. That's the dumbest designation again. Last thing I'll say, because Mike Messenger has not been the transition player of the year, and he might not win defensive player of the year, so what does he get a chance to do? I don't get that. I'll put it this way. I think no, they do. I think Jake Withers won it. They do have a guy like that. But again, Mike Messenger has not been the best transition player. I think he's been a better defender. But he might not even make a transition ballot. Maybe. But if he's not, I see a scenario where he's not named a finalist. That's crazy to me. Yep. That's wild. I do remember that, by the way. And that's what I'm saying. Like CJ Kirst. Is second on the rock in cost turnovers. That's a bad comparison. But I'm just like a couple of years ago, like Dane Smith was getting back and sometimes staying on defense, but I guess because he can run, he might be transition. Like, that's a dumb thing. All right. Now, the graphic for this had not been made. I do want to mention, though, folks, and I got to ask, if the comments are firing up, this is one of my hardest topics to do. I don't even know what I think about this. Who is the offensive player of the year? All right. Because I got about 10 guys I want to give credit to, and I don't know how. All right. So we have Alex Simmons, Tanner Cook, Ryan Lanchbury, who all have, I believe, arguments for an offensive player of the year top 4. All right. I went with Andrew Q at 1, Keegan Ball 2, Jeff T 3, and Curtis 6 and 4. Now, again, I'll just go through this my reasoning for those guys quickly, and then I'll ask you the comments. Like I don't know. I think this year's offensive player of the year probably is the hardest award because so many guys are doing so many different things. And listen to this. Andrew Q, best shooting percentage, leads the league in goals, right? But his assists are dreadful. He missed 4 games. But do you give credit to points per game? I don't know. Keegan Ball leads the league in goals. But I believe Dane Smith and Ryan Lanchbury and Jeff T have been better passers. I don't mean lead. Keegan Ball is up there in important terms like goals. But again, on his own team, Curtis Dixon has more goals. And Curtis Dixon has the most power play goals. Also shooting a great percentage. Jeff Teat. How do you not include Jeff Teat in Offensive Player of the Year? But again, do we give Tanner Cook or Alex Simmons or like Ryan Lanchbury or Connor Fields? Dane Smith? Dane Smith leads the league in primary assists. And again, this award is bonkers to me. Again, I'm going to put a graphic out later that has Andrew Q1, Keegan Ball 2, Jeff T3, and Curtis 6 and 4. And I don't even know within 5 minutes after posting it, will I agree with that? So I'm just wondering, who is y'all's offensive player of the year? Pat Gregoire said earlier about regarding the transition thing. Have forwards and defenders, that's it. Then an award for the best two-way player, correct? CLS says bingo. He also says, or give 2 transition players of the year. I like that. I like this a lot. But again, is that kind of like Like, I like, is this kind of like dumbing it down? And again, not like, I actually like this idea a lot, but do people get mad that there's also an offensive and defensive player? I don't know, but I like this as well. Lance Baum, there you go. Fields prior to last week was having a better statistical season than last year. Haven't updated from last week yet. So it's crazy. I think Connor Fields is actually second in the league in points per game. And again, when I post this graphic later, won't even have him in my top 4. So again, before we leave this segment, or maybe after the break here, I am like, if Buffalo Sports Collective and Pat Gregoire are still on, who is your offensive player of the year, or who's your top 3? Because I would, that's, again, I like primary assists. I like goals. I like shooting percentage. I mean, this is crazy. I think there are 7 guys right now I would be perfectly fine if any of them were named the final 3. I mean, it's impressive, man. It's mightily impressive. Even though, gun to my head, I do think, here's how I know the NLL, well, at least the NLL will do this. I'm calling it right now. The 3 finalists for Offensive Player of the Year will be Jeff Teets, probably Dane, and then the league leader in goals. I think Teets and the league leader in goals are markered in, and who your third person is. I guarantee you, I truly believe there's an argument for Curtis Dixon, Tanner Cook, and all these guys. And I guarantee you it's going to be the chalk of Jeff Teets, the league leader in goals, and maybe Dane Smith. I'm going to be so mad because I don't think that's honest. Like, I would be more happy if you had Jeff Teets, freaking Tanner Cook, and Keegan Ball, because it means that you actually had an opinion. Like, I don't know who Offensive Player of the Year is, but I guarantee you the finalists will be so chalk. It's going to be unbelievable. What do you mean in order? You got to post it, man. I'm going to be so mad at, I got to go on the YouTube because I feel like he already posted his list, and I don't think my StreamYard showed it to me. Let me check this real quick. Oh, okay. So Ball, Q, and Teets. I like that. Again, I think Q's shooting percentage has been unbelievable. And what he's done with 4 missed games, I think that matters. I like this. I would be happy with this list, but again, I feel like we're going to do like the league. I don't know. I hope the awards don't piss me off. They always do. All right. We come back to the show. My power rankings, man. Let's just say, just like Thanos is inevitable, so is Buffalo. And I'll explain next. And then Pat Gregoire says Q, Ball, T. Wow. I like that list. Interesting. Yeah, same thing here. All right, folks. When we come back to the show again, I'll do my power rankings. I obviously have Buffalo at number 1, but I have a confession on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening. You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Karvelis, here back on North American Talk Radio's YouTube channel. I will upload yesterday's episode from X onto YouTube following the show, so I appreciate you guys. If you're on YouTube live or the replay and you want to watch it yesterday's show, I got you guys. So earlier today, I talked about part 2 of my in-season tournament idea, or this is like an alternate home games location. I talked about how maybe San Diego could play in Coachella Valley. Georgia could play in either Savannah, Nashville, or Charlotte. Rochester and Long Island, if marketed correctly, and just expand the footprint. We don't need a Long Island team. We could have a Long Island team, but just saying. Vancouver and Seattle, and Las Vegas and Phoenix. And again, that piggybacks off of yesterday's show where I had an unboxed series idea where teams not named Calgary, Vancouver, Buffalo, or Colorado would just have we would have 3 unboxed games a year, and that would be our in-season tournament. Because again, for some reason, they don't believe in showing Tucker Out Cup a lot. So it's whatever. My eye is going crazy. I then gave you my awards. GM, I've got Brad Self, Sean Williams, Jimmy Dowlick, and Dan McCray. Head coach, I've got Ed Cuomo, Dan McCray, Matt Sawyer, and Pat Coyle. And then defensive player of the year, I've got Callum Jones, Mike Messenger, Mitch DeSnew, and Brad Cree. And then offensive player of the year, I went with Andrew Q1, Keegan Ball, Jeff T, Curtis Dixon. Pat Gregoire said Q, Ball, Teat, Dane, and Fields, and then says his list already changed. So there you go. And of course, Buffalo Sports Collective said this in no order, and their list will change by tomorrow. So there you go. Now, let's get into my power rankings. And again, this poor Philadelphia Wings fan, by the way, which I'll stay tuned to the end of the show for a great letter, by the way. But this Philadelphia Wings fan commented on Daily Dive's Instagram page, found at Daily Dive LAX, and he was like, why did you only do 11 teams? And I said because 3 of them got eliminated, but at the end of the season, at the end of the postseason, I will do a fully 1 through 14 again, and it will not be based on where they finish. It was just who I think was a better season. Now, let's get to my power rankings. I don't know why I did this, but there you go. Oh, let's do 11 through 14 real quick, or 9 through 11. Excuse me. I think Rochester sucks again. They got smoked by Halifax. Their goalies suck. San Diego Seals dropped 3 spots to number 10. They had no offense. Toronto, I know their defense was great. Seals, you got to find a way, bro. 5 goals is not good enough. I don't care who you are. It's not good enough. And then number 9, I got Halifax. They have jumped up 2 spots. They might make the playoffs. 1 through 8. Here it is. So I've got Las Vegas number 8. I could see Vegas and Halifax making it over Ottawa based on that final game of the season, obviously. I do have Ottawa 7. Georgia, Toronto, and Colorado stay locked in. Vancouver. You're like, why did they drop below the Rush? Unlike the Rush, the Warriors got their tails kicked in. I'm sorry, Vancouver fans. You got your butts kicked. You're running around like this. That's supposed to be a scared guy. I don't think he's scared. It seemed like he was more pissed off. I'm pissed off that you suck so bad. You walked into Buffalo and got your butts kicked. So you're not good. You're not that great. I give, again, shout out to Kurt Malosky, who obviously was unhappy with his own game plan. We're in that was week 19, bro. I don't trust you in a 3-game series. If that's the performance you put up, do people realize that Kurt Malosky has won NLL championship? Like, the way this guy's talked about, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, and I should have known this. Kurt Malosky, I thought, had multiple rings. 1. I don't, listen. Okay. I didn't want to do this, I'm doing it now. I don't think the media is honest with people ever. Well, almost ever in this sport. Can someone explain to me why we talk about certain people like they can't do anything wrong? Glenn Clark has been horrible as a coach. Sean Williams has been horrible as a coach. Matt Sawyer has stunk up the bench for decades. Well, for years. Ed Cuomo has been horrible for years. Karvelis, 1 ring with the roster he had in Calgary. 1. The fact that they talk about him like he's a god. They talk about him like he's a god in lacrosse. I feel like a lot of that is summer ball. I think it's a lot of his summer ball. I don't know what he coaches elsewhere. I don't care. This is the NLL. And your team got curb stomped. With the roster you have, it is inexcusable. And again, I'm using this moment. The first part of this will get clipped, not this. I'm using this moment here to acknowledge that Kurt Malosky is a good coach, but also understanding that we get lied to by NLL media. We absolutely get lied to. This roster is insane. And I could also blame Curtis Dixon for being an abyss on offense sometimes, where he just takes a long outside shot. Who could have seen that coming? And at some point, the roster has to matter. And at some point, Saskatchewan played a better game than you. I know a loss is a loss, but that matters to me. I picked Vancouver to win the championship, and they still have not figured it out. That game, I don't care how good you think this Buffalo dynasty is, even in year 4. I don't care. Buffalo had been awful. Back-to-back weeks on offense. Your defense gets exposed. Your offense looks old as dirt. And you want me to believe that it's just one game. Just one game. No, we're not doing that. That was a massive game, and they fell flat on their face. And when Vancouver does not win the championship, I'm going to laugh because Malosky's still a god. All these guys it's unbelievable what we do here, man. 1 ring. Again, it's a week-to-week league. There's 18 games in a season, and the NFL would have crucified Kurt Malosky. Folks, they got John Harbaugh out the building in Baltimore. Hey, how long ago was that? I know that John Harbaugh's championship was longer ago than Kurt Malosky's. But in sports, it feels like A decade. Come on, man. I also have a confession about Buffalo. I wanted to put them number one a week or two ago, and I didn't have the guts to do it. And after curb stomping Vancouver, and after rallying to beat Saskatchewan, they're the best team. This is true. But again, week 19, that cannot happen. It does not happen to championship teams. I don't think there's an excuse. I don't think there's a way. I think this is one of those games where they might want to throw it out. And in week 19, with the roster that you have and the godlike coach that you have, that never happens. I don't think Vancouver's winning it. I could see a scenario where Colorado, Toronto, maybe Toronto, where Colorado, Georgia, Saskatchewan, and Buffalo wins. Vancouver, I'm done. I'm done. Vancouver's final two games. Halifax and Philadelphia. Sure, they'll get wins there. Good for them. You should get wins there. But when you play Saskatchewan or Buffalo, good luck. All right, now, I want to actually end the show on a positive note here. So, I told you guys before that I have been in the group chats of some teams, especially the Philadelphia Wings. And there have been a lot of really awesome things that have come about in this group chat on Facebook, all right? They're having a bunch of great stories being told. And I want to take this moment because, again, it was shared on their Facebook group chat, so I don't think it's private. This is from a 15-year-old named Amelia Citrone. It's AMELIA CITRONE. All right. Their lacrosse coach or something asked why, like, her and a bunch of other people play lacrosse. Like, what their reason why they play lacrosse. I believe it was her father who shared this. Again, this is incredible to me with, like, the Philadelphia Wings, because, like, a bunch of fans are rallying on why the game means something to them. So, lacrosse has always been a part of my life. While, yes, that is why I play, I feel as if a single sentence cannot sum up 15 years of my life without sounding vague. Amelia says, from before I was born, lacrosse has been a part of my life. My parents were engaged at a Wings game. Their wedding topper was a clay sculpture with my father in a Philadelphia Wings jersey holding a lacrosse stick, and my mom wearing one over her wedding dress. From when I was born to today, I have grown up around the sport. As a baby, I was passed around and held by Wings players. I met lacrosse legends like John Grant Jr., Kyle Sweeney, Kevin Crowley, Jake Bergey, Bergey, and Russ Klein, founder of the MILL, aka the NLL. The list could go on for hours. The first 3 years of my life were spent at the Wells Fargo Center every winter and spring, watching lacrosse and meeting thousands of professional athletes. I look up to them the same way my little brother Dominic looks up to me. He plays lacrosse because he wants to be like me someday. Lacrosse is bigger than the game. It's family, and it's in my blood. Amelia says, when I first got my hands on a lacrosse stick, I would not put it down. I never planned to. Whether 5, 15, or 50, the number 5 follows me. Now, my number is the same as Chris Kavanaugh, my all-time favorite lacrosse player. Everything I do, either my style when playing or how I play, is based on one of my role models. The reason I wear 2 braids isn't just because I like it or think it looks cool. I saw that Lyle Thompson does it, and the Thompsons are a family that I look up to tremendously. With that being said, the natives originally called lacrosse the medicine game. When 12-year-old me tore her ACL and meniscus during a lacrosse game and was later told that because of my age, it could have easily been my last, I did everything in my power to make it back on the field. It wasn't until Meredith, the physical therapist, gave me a lacrosse stick and told me to do lacrosse drills that suddenly there was a chance I'd see the field again. If lacrosse hadn't been such a big thing to me, I don't know where my motivation would have come from. Every game I walk into, I have the mindset that it's my last, because if there's anything that being injured taught me, it's that even at the height of your athletic point, anything can happen. My medicine is lacrosse. It's my dream to someday have 1,000 young girls look up to me to show them the value of hard work and perseverance. When you love what you do, you keep doing it no matter what. That's why I play lacrosse. Wow. Wow. Shout out again to Amelia Citrone on Philadelphia Wings Facebook, by their fan club on there. Woo! Man, there's a bunch of stories like that, but that one kind of like, golly, bro. Because we've all been there as sports fans. No one in my family on either side. I have barely any cousins. I've got uncle. Like, no one likes sports, and I do a daily lacrosse talk show. So seeing stuff like that is crazy. So again, oh, buddy, that's a lot. All right, so there you go. Man, okay, so remember Calvin said it feels like a funeral? Yeah, that makes sense. All right, folks, thanks for watching today's show. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, North American Talk Radio's YouTube channel at 1 o'clock Eastern, if YouTube's working. It should be. This is Ben Daily Dive. Bye.